So we out front here in protest of the recent murders of Tyre Nichols with the organization Sons of Reawakening. We got a couple members here who are out protesting community control of the police and
Yes.
and stop the police brutality. And
That's right.
so, what do y'all have to
And
say
you
about
too.
the recent murders that occurred down in Memphis?
I mean, it's a sad day once again, but it's a story very familiar to our ears. You know, it's not the first name that we've had to write on a poster board. It's been multiple murders. It's too many. It needs to stop. It's unfortunate. Changes need to be made. That's plain and simple.
All right, I agree with that. So what kind of suggestions do you put forth? I see that one of the signs says community control of the police.
Right.
This sister right here, Akila, is holding the sign community control of the police. Do you think that's one of the opportunities that we can take advantage of? I see that that's starting to catch fire across the country. How can we advance this movement to stop the police violence that occurs in our community?
We can start by pushing for community control of the police to make sure that the community has a say in how police are active in our communities to end the murders of innocent people and murders of people, period.
Okay.
Because we know all too true that black people are senselessly murdered by police every day in this country.
Okay.
And it's becoming too normalized, and we're out here too many times protesting against the senseless murders of our people.
Uh-huh.
And so we're calling for community control of the police, that we have a voice in and we are self-determined in our communities and how our people are living in this world.
So what do y'all say about the people who are against community control of the police, is saying that the black community is being hyperbolic with these police murders that occur against all of our people, whether it be the young brother that was killed in Memphis, George Floyd, or whoever over the last decades, or even longer than that? What do y'all say about the people who are in opposition to that?
I say to get out the way, because we're coming through and we're going to control the police.
Mhm.
It's community control of the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they might as well get out the way, because we're a self-determined people and we determine our own destiny.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You're part of the problem. Being part of the problem is not part of the solution.
Absolutely, I hear that. So this is Sister Sakira, right?
Yes.
All right, she's out here with Sons of Reawakening, helping us to hand out some flyers for the upcoming ancestral workshop that we have in February 18th. But she's also in support of the police control of the police, and she has some concerns about how her young son is going to be viewed because he has a hood on his head. So you want to speak on that, sister?
Told me that she left her a message.
And if he sat there just going, he has gum in his pocket, and he just going for his gum, and they think it's a gun, and they gonna disarm and hurt my son.
Right.
That's what I have to say about that. And knowing that it's only a pack of gum, I don't know what's in his pocket. So please stop the violence.
Okay, so you're very concerned about how he's going to be misjudged just because he has a hood over his head, or something being mistaken about him reaching out for a pack of gum, thinking that it was some sort of weapon to threaten somebody. So that's a legitimate concern.
Yes.
Yeah, speak on that a little bit more.
So, my son can speak upon it.
White people keep harassing black people, and it's not good.
It's not good. I agree with that, young brother. I agree with that. Keep up that attitude and just be very, very focused and visual on the politeness that we have as a black community.
We're trying to help other people to be safe.
Be safe. Okay. I got another member of the Sons of Reawakening organization, Y2. He's been very vigilant in the community for a number of years, speaking out about the injustice that occurs in our community. He's been a bear on the butts of people who commit crimes against our community every day. So he's been out here for a number of decades, speaking out about the injustice that occurs in our community. So what do you got to say about the police brutality and the murder that took place in Memphis, bro?
Well, I'll say, it's what happened. It's like that old saying, it's American as apple pie. So that's gonna happen when you live in a state that's based on the oppression of one group of people by another group of people. We happen to be those that have been oppressed and the police represents the oppressor nation. And that's been their modus operandi ever since they come to the shores of America.
Mm-hmm.
They started out with the native people and didn't stop until, or they haven't stopped yet. They continue to going on with, only thing is black people have supplanted the native people.
Right.
So that, so it's America's routine is built into their social structure.
Right.
That capitalism has to oppress.
Stay on their ass like we are.
Right.
We still trying to find out who killed Little Bill.
All right. All right,
Trying to
sis.
find out who killed Little Bill. They won't investigate.
So you can
They
see.
won't?
No, the detectives keep saying they opened it up. That was 2 years ago.
All right. So yeah, just like the sister expressed her outrage right here, that when black people are murdered, and we expect that they don't give us due process, that they don't carry out the investigations that's routinely granted to other nationalities.
Uh-huh.
They just sweep our stuff under the rug and say, like they did during the Panther era, that homicides are justifiable, that whoever did it, we're not concerned with carrying out any justice towards them.
Uh-huh.
But the recent display down in Memphis, it's a classic example of American terrorism.
Uh-huh.
That they go through the community. If anybody watched that footage, it was despicable. It was. If you have children, I wouldn't advise children to watch it.
Right.
But it shows the true nature of police.
Right.
That they brutalized this man.
Uh-huh.
It was worse. If you can imagine, it was worse. It was worse than what was done to George Floyd.
Right.
I mean, those pigs. That's why we call them. We don't call them police. They're not police. They're pigs.
So.
That's their true nature. That that they're violent, they're dirty, they're filthy.
Right.
And that they just unmercifully treated this man like I'm just speechless.
So let me ask you this. So what are the people, again, because we always hear about the black community as being hyperbolic about the police murders that occur against, or the injustice and the murder that occurs against our people in our community. What do you say about the ones who look at this murder case that took place and it was actually 5 black police officers? What do you say about that?
Yeah, well, way I'm summing it up today, we just calling it blue on black murder.
Uh-huh.
That they're quick to label if a black person trips another black person and that person falls down, they call that black on black crime.
Yeah.
So we don't see any crime. Black people don't have the wealth to be committing no murders.
Uh-huh.
That this stuff is created by the system, a system that constantly taking and leaving no resources for our communities. Our communities are deserts for
Right.
food, for jobs, for everything that's life sustaining.
Uh-huh.
And that when we do act up and do things that are quote unquote against the law and hurt, and it ends up harming people that look like us, that's state sponsored violence. Because of the little resources that are in our community,
Right.
our people mistakenly go after those and try to secure them, and in the process of doing that, they enact draconian laws that result in what society has right now. They have this mass incarceration
Right.
society.
Right.
Everything is built on, even as far as Frederick, out here to Hagerstown, the economies are based on building prisons, to incarcerate people,
Uh-huh.
not to rehabilitate people, but to incarcerate them and take all of the rights away from, deny them all constitutional rights to get an education, to communicate with their loved ones who happen to be a home. So it's all part of this capitalist system.
Right.
It's part and parcel. So we're calling it blue on black crime,
Uh-huh.
blue on black murder.
Blue on black crime. I like that. So if you had one final word to say to drive home this message that those of us who are out here in this part of the organization Sons of Reawakening and protesting the violence that occurs in our community, is there one final message that you want to leave the people?
Yes, definitely. I'd say to people, get organized. You got to be part of an organization that's fighting for the defense of our people.
Right.
Not out here fighting for worthless democratic, democratic issues that relies on the electorate to get through. We're talking about joining an organization that's fighting back. That was reminiscent of the organizations we had in the 60s.
Right.
Like the Black Panther Party.
Okay.
The Revolutionary Action Movement.
Okay.
Like Republic of New Africa, like the Uhuru movement.
Right.
That we need to be part of an organization that don't encourage you to sit down and have a silent march. A silent march where you can't express and to expose the brutalities of this system. So we need an organization that's going to be out here active in the community like we're doing. They're the types of communities that we have to encourage our people to be part of. We encourage these young ones like this brother here. His mama and dad need to be out here with us. His sisters and brothers. Shakira was struggling with her significant other to have him come out here today. That it's easy to sit home and vocalize in your chair, but it's different to get out in the community where the people are walking back and forth and people are versed in these issues, or if they're not versed in them, that your duty as a member of an organization is to encourage people to become politicized, and also, and the best way to do that is to be part of a group.
Right.
So
your final message is to all the people who are watching this interview. The final message is mobilize, get out, take action. Action does not occur by looking at the TV or looking at a YouTube video or looking on Facebook. Action occurs when you're out here in the streets, making yourself visible and letting them know that we have to step up our action, step up our activity, and force people to make a change.
Yes. The only thing that's going to benefit us right now, the only thing, is that we get out here and organize against this system. This system will put up all kinds of charades and make it appear as if it lets you sit down in a lunch counter with white people, it lets you go to school with white kids. The problem is that the thing is that allows them to do that, they have power. Right. The state has power.
Right.
We have to get the same power to tell our kids, no, you're not going to that school today. We got a little mother right here who is engaged in right now, and her daughter brought it to her attention, brought the resistance against this oppression in the school system here locally. But she's carrying it on right now, and she's fighting like a tiger.
Right.
So the Sons of Reawakening has infused some of that fire in her, and we don't want it to extinguish it. We want that. We want her to blow some oxygen in that fire. So intensify that flame. So she gets out there and struggles, and with the support of Sons of Reawakening, I don't know what she would do without their help. Just kidding.
All right, everybody, all together. 1, 2, 3. Uhuru!
Uhuru!
All right.